What's going on, guys? So you have to excuse me. I just woke up and I'm trying to get ready for work here in a minute. But I had a little bit of time. This is something I was going to work on last night and I didn't. So I'm literally actually drinking my breakfast of champs here. So you're going to have to forgive me for being a little low energy. Okay, I got to get myself up and pumped and ready for probably 12 hours of absolute just annoyance. But before I get to go to paradise, I wanted to talk about something that has crossed my page quite a lot, whether it's my Twitter or it's TikTok. Hell, even YouTube Shorts has done it, and it has to do with people basically stealing, and I'm not going to try to argue what they're doing makes sense. I'm going to say this. I have been in a very bad situation many years ago, okay, and it was years of struggling. I was a couch surfer, okay, I didn't make hardly dick. I made very little money, not enough to even pay rent, really. I think by the time I was able to make, at that time, which was better than what it would be worth now, it was, we'll say $10 an hour. That was actually really good to be able to afford a car payment of a new car, not a used car, which, changed a lot, made things a lot easier. But the biggest thing was affording the small things, okay? Food was something that was, I couldn't go out to eat. I couldn't go, splurge on things. The most I would ever spend was like on banquet meals, those ham bricks, and noodles. That was my trifecta. I didn't even really get breakfast. It was literally just those three things. And I changed between sandwiches and the noodles, and then I ate banquet meals at night. That's what I had to survive on, which, is very, very hard to believe with my very rotund build now. But at the time, yeah, it was pretty much a big, giant struggle. So when I see people doing stuff like this, I don't think they understand for two reasons. Like, the ramifications that can come with this. For something that isn't like food related. I understand food related incidents. I don't condone them, but I understand them, and I completely tell people, like, that's one of the few things that I can, like, add my heart will feel bad for. But when you take laundry detergent and you're stealing it, is dumb. Because also, I don't know if you know this, tampering with anything is a felony. Or it can at least be taken as a felony. It's one of those things that you just don't want to put your fingers in, I'm telling you. And I ran across this video. This is just used as an example. There's plenty of them out there, but this is the one I want to use as an example as a big giant no-no.
I need my money's worth, dog. I need my money's worth. Baby, that's very that's very wild, though.
That's
Come
bad.
on, that is very wild.
Walmart do better.
Yeah, that is very wild.
Crazy. That's five loads right there. That's five
That is
loads.
really wild.
Now see, you can clearly tell they're just young and they're just trying to get every little drop they can. Now there's two reasons why. What I can see, laundry detergent bottles are not filled to the brim, okay? They're not filled to the brim to make ease of pour when you buy them, and two, for when the expansion happens when they're being transported, because they can blow up. Now, I don't know why it only affects laundry detergent, not laundry detergent itself, other detergents and stuff, some chemicals, that none of them, hardly any of these bottles are ever filled to the brim, unlike your drinks. I mean, even some of these, which I have here, which I drink quite often, it's not filled to the exact brim, but they're still pressurized. It has, if that was a swell, I'm pretty sure it'd pop pretty easily. Same thing with energy drinks, everything else that I drink. So I'm not entirely sure what the comparison is to. The only thing I know that doesn't really change a whole lot is like water, which I buy a lot of. And I've never seen it really have a big issue. And also ignore that sock on the floor. Okay, I just didn't pick it up. Now, I know it seems kind of odd because I believe there's been like one or two videos I've seen people actually talk about people doing this to detergent. And they're always like, oh, you can't do this. This is 100% just wrong. You can't. And they just blow up and just actually are a little bit asinine. This is one of those things. The reason I'm even talking about it is because I just found it so interesting that, this is the thing that everybody's looking at because obviously it is the one thing that really has been in control and pretty much been the same for probably the last 20 years, the way the volume works inside of that. And also I've seen arguments inside the comments of a lot of these, different social media sites where they'll say they sell them by weight or they sell them by volume, this, that, and the other. And when I was looking it up, they do in fact sell it by the actual, the volume of the liquid. So I thought that was kind of weird that a simple Google search would tell you exactly what that was. And the same thing for a lot of people wondering, yes, this can actually be a felony because you're tampering with product on the shelf, especially hygienic ones, which is a huge, huge no-no. They don't want you doing that. In fact, it's starting to get to the point where a lot of this stuff gets locked up, and I wouldn't be surprised if they start going down the path of like sealing it with all sorts of like, do not buy if tampered, and that's going to cause a big plethora of issues. Of course, I've seen one guy arguing that he uses tabs. pods and stuff, because you know what you're getting when you buy a pod. You can just throw the pod in, you're done. Which has actually made me kind of question, why is pods not blowing up? I mean, they're completely a compacted thing. I don't understand why they don't swell and blow up. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe they do actually do that, and I just don't know what I'm talking about on that. But it's just something that came to my mind. But yeah, the guy's argument was, if you don't want to pay the exorbitant prices that you're getting from the liquid itself, just go ahead and buy the pods. And I'm like, yeah, you know what? That makes sense. If you buy 28 pods, you get 28 loads. And if you buy a bottle that says 28 loads, you may not get 28 loads. So it just depends on, I guess, the person, because you know they're not 100% exactly right. They're going to say their average is whatever fluid ounces they're in it, and they're not exactly going to be that. Now, my argument actually comes from a little bit of a different perspective. It has nothing to do with the actual this. It doesn't have to do with laundry detergent. It has to do with, like, everything else. Okay, the one thing you're picking is laundry detergent, which I just think's odd that that's going to be the stance that you're going to stand on to try to milk every dollar you can out of it. Don't get me wrong, they're not cheap. I mean, shit, it still costs like $20 a bottle. It's ridiculous. But there's plenty of other products out there that are skimming you as much as they possibly can. Now, I don't have any exact product in here to just give you an example. The only one I can try to make sense, if you don't understand, is going to be just using my Monster drink that I'm drinking. So, like, a lot of these certain companies that you use for, like, we'll say lotions or hairspray, whatever it is, or just something similar to this, you would have, instead of it having this dip in it, it's going to have a very big dip in it, because they're taking out some of the fluid ounces so they can skim what little dollars they can from each individual product. Another thing that I had happen, which I got explained to me by a manager like 10 years ago, what companies will do, if you order, say, 40 whatever packs of something, they will try to skim by cutting one off, and then you've technically paid for 39. It's not exactly right, but apparently even the documentation will show somehow that stuff is legal. I don't know how that works, but somehow they'll skim you out of one little bitty tiny product. Things like that happen actually quite a lot. If you've ever done truck, which is, I think, the universal term for everybody, if you've ever done stocking or truck, you know that sometimes some objects will come up missing out of some of that stuff. But yes, please don't touch hygienic products and like stuff for washing your clothes, detergents. Don't start filling up bottles from other bottles, because there's two problems. First, it's a felony, or can be a felony. Second, you know, you're also taking away from another bottle. Some unexpected passerby may just grab, not thinking, throw it in there, and then go home and just end up spending way more by comparison than what you just did. And yeah, you're on camera also. You're recording yourself doing something stupid. I've tried to tell people, yeah, you know, there's not much of a difference between that generation and my generation, but we didn't record every little dumb thing we did that could probably get us into, like, jail. Now, yeah, we still recorded dumb things, but it was a lot less likely to, you know, be caught. We didn't record it on, like, YouTube and TikTok with our handles, and we didn't have usernames. We didn't have all this stuff. It was a lot less tech savvy, so it was a lot easier to get away with, but at this point in time, I think it's just not smart to record yourself committing a crime and putting it on your own personal TikTok, Twitter, YouTube. But yeah, guys, that's all I want to say. Y'all have a good one.